Hey YouTube, Diesel Dan Peters here. So I have my laptop out in front of me and I was asked to make this video, and I figured it'd be easier as a video so people could actually better understand what goes into buying a vehicle, why the price is never what it actually is advertised as. It's all for a reason. Um, Always keep in mind the dealerships need to make money too. Nissan, in my case, Nissan needs to make money, but every car dealership needs to make money as well. It's all a business. That's how people stay employed. Um, but I'm gonna attempt to show you all this, covering up any details because I don't want the dealership to be shown. I don't want any of my personal details to be shown for obvious reasons. Um, and I'm gonna make this full screen. I'm gonna try to zoom in actually because that might make my life easier. All right, so we'll start off with this. Zoom out a little. All right, so the total from Nissan, we got this up over here, and I'm gonna periodically turn it towards me as I scroll through the document to give you all exact numbers, because like I said, I'm not looking to make up any stories. I apologize if my screen's a little dirty. I've been editing a lot of videos lately, and well, obviously I haven't really been paying attention to cleaning it. So total for just the car, not delivered, $17,650. So that's for the 2023 Nissan Versa S manual. The options, as I said in the past, are the splash guards, the car mats, and what was the other option? The armrest that's in the middle for the middle console. So those were the three options. Those added approximately $600 or $700 to the total value of the vehicle. To keep in mind, that is the destination charge included as well, which I believe is $1,500 if I'm correct. So for it to actually come from the factory over to a dealership, there is an actual charge for that as well. Adjusted market value. So that's just the dealer markup. Every car today is going to have one. If you go to buy a new vehicle, it's nearly impossible to get one without a markup. And unfortunately, because I needed a vehicle, I just had to bite the bullet, an extra $2,500. It's not a drop in the bucket, but when you're in a bind and you need a vehicle, you got to do what you got to do, right? So the total with those two, $20,150. All right, so now the dealer processing charge. That's just for the dealership to do all the paperwork side of things. So to actually have someone there to do all the paperwork, including titling and all that. The person who takes care of all the paperwork, the privacy laws, the lemon law paperwork, all that kind of stuff to get you in the system. That was $500. Again, aftermarkets. Now this one, I believe, was actually, so I think the total, might be butchering this a little bit. I think the total was $17,600 because it's a 2023. And the 686 is actually when it says aftermarkets over here, that is for the, what do you call it? The car mats and stuff like that, like I was saying earlier. So that's what totaled 686. Cash sales price, $21,000. So that's before any other warranty, no warranties, no nothing. It's just the basic Nissan warranty. Whatever else just comes with the vehicle. Now, I'm going to turn the camera this way. You're going to have to see my face for a few seconds. I apologize. I need to hide some of this so that nobody can see any of the information. Because part of it, I'm just gonna say, so add another $1,239, so $1,239 for titling and registration tax. Unfortunately, some of the my insurance information kind of crossed over into the numbers area, so I'm not going to show that part, but take my word, it was $1,239. And then we scroll down to this part. Now the rest of this I can show. So we got the total for titling and tax charge. So again, it was $1,239 for titling it and all that. But then you have lien fees, you have a title fee, and a registration fee through the dealership, which is $307. So the total titling and tax charge, so that includes tax. Actually, bear with me for 1 second. Yeah, titling and registration tax. Yeah, so that's what equaled to $1,239. So plus the lien and everything else that they had to add on the vehicle, the total was $1,546 for that. Then we have gap insurance, which was $1,500. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, gap insurance, I pretty much recommend it for anyone who's getting a newer vehicle, especially if you have any doubt that the vehicle might be worth less if you ever total the vehicle out. Always get gap insurance. It's the biggest safety you can get. So basically, you're driving along and you have Mojo or whatever come and just completely total out your vehicle, and you owe $20,000 still on the vehicle. The vehicle's only worth $10,000 now, though. Gap insurance will cover that remainder of the $10,000, and you won't owe anything extra. Otherwise, if you had it totaled out, you would still owe that additional $10,000 in this situation, right? And that's why I always say best insurance you can get. Obviously, you need full insurance either way, but definitely get gap insurance to the dealership. It's just the safety net of knowing, God forbid, something happened, you'd be okay. Now they charge electronic title and registration. That is listed under the gap, so I'm assuming that was listed with the title and registration. Either way, it's all in paperwork, like I said, so I could always look back at that if I needed to. Then we have the extended service contract, so that is for an additional 6 years added to the regular Nissan warranty. So in total, I have 9 years of warranty at this moment and 120,000 miles of coverage. So what that does is it gives you the peace of mind where if something broke during that time, whether it's due to wear or whatever else, it'd be covered. So that was $3,000. Now I'm going to turn it again this way, just so I can make sure I'm not showing anything that I shouldn't be showing. Again, I'm keeping the dealership itself, its name out of this, just so I don't have any problems where the dealership didn't want me to share anything like that. The dealership, it's not in this paperwork, but the dealership gave me a separate paper that basically said my engine is covered for the lifetime of the vehicle under my ownership. So I could have 1 million miles on the car and be through 5 or 6 different engines technically. And as long as I kept up with regular oil changes, it'd all be covered. So that's pretty big. And it also has free oil changes and oil filter changes for life, including the work it takes to actually change an oil, change your oil out, which alone, that's big savings right there. So let's go back here. Again, nothing is showing, so we are good. Total cash delivered price at that point, it equated with all the warranties and everything else to $27,421. Now I had a deposit of $2,000 and a rebate since I'm in the military of $500. And let's see. Total credits $2,500. Yep. So the total was $2,409, basically $25,000 when it was all said and done. Which, if you think about it, if you do any research on these newer vehicles that are being sold right now, that's pretty reasonable, because like all the vehicles I was looking at, like the MSRP was at, for a basic bare bone model. I originally wanted the RAV4, right? So the MSRP on that is about 28, I believe, for the bare bone basic LE, and that was a 22 model. Which doesn't mean it's old or anything, but it's one of those things where I prefer, if I'm going to be spending all this money, I want the newest vehicle I can get at that point. So yeah, the Toyota, $28,000 before destination charge fees and taxes, registration, warranties, everything else. So what I always tell people this, right? If you're going to get similar warranties or any sort of warranty on the vehicle, expect to spend at least another 10 grand of whatever the MSRP shows on the website. Uh, and that's just to get the basic model. That's with no other extras, unless the dealership is offering some crazy um, rebates on it, stuff like that, credits or markdowns. Then expect to spend at least 10,000 extra over what the MSRP of the vehicle you're looking at to be. And again, this is just a Nissan Versa S. It is one of the cheapest cars you can buy today. Uh, and unfortunately, that's just due to inflation right now, right? That's a whole nother topic. Not getting into anything like that. I'm just telling you all straight up what it is. I mean, it even comes down to stuff like the Bronco. I know I'm kind of blabbering on a little bit. Still on my first cup of coffee over here. Hold on one second, YouTube. But for instance, the Sport Bronco, right? The full size Bronco, not the SUV looking one, but the actual Sport Bronco that's made for off-roading, right? That Bronco advertises for, I believe, 30, it used to at least 35,000 was like the basic one. I don't think you can really even find one under 60, 70 grand for the basic ones. There's a lot of dealerships marking them up 20 to $50,000 more than the MSRP value. And people are buying them. If they want the vehicle, they're going to buy it, you know? And just, I guess a little other bit of information. I think I had a lot of people asking me why I chose a Nissan Versa. Again, manual. Can't find any manuals anywhere. Unless you're buying a sports car, right? A sports car, you can typically still find manuals pretty easily. But a regular economical car, just to get from point A to point B safely, they just don't exist anymore. And even if you do a Google search, which just type it in now, cheap 2023 manual cars. Let's see what comes up. Oh, I don't have the internet on. I had to turn it off when I came out here. I might have to use my phone for this. Let's see. Bear with me, YouTube. Hopefully my laptop doesn't die either. Top 3 cheapest manuals. Let's see. Is it going to load? My laptop is quitting me. So we got a 2023 Acura Integra for $30,800 manual. Let's see, scroll down. There's a Toyota GR86 for $27,900. Again, these are all MSRP. A Subaru Crosstrek for $23,000. And you got the Mitsubishi Mirage for $17,000. For some reason, they don't even have the Nissan on here. Probably because you can't just go into a dealership and get a Nissan either. I had to actually request it. Even though the Nissan website shows that they come in manual, the dealership I went to said that they get 1 to 2 max per year, which shows how low their productions are on U.S. production Nissan Versas that are manual. One dealership I went to, the first one, kind of just laughed at me. They're like, "Oh, Nissan doesn't sell a Versa in a manual. We've never even heard of that." And it took me asking for their manager to look for it. They're like, "Oh, I guess it does come in manual." And yeah, that dealership, it was kind of a nightmare because I had put a down deposit before I even got the vehicle, and the dealership was just what's a good word? They were kind of almost making fun of me because I wanted the manual version because it was cheaper, but in reality I needed it so I could stay awake when I'm on night shift, which I don't think they really clicked in their mind. But that's a whole nother topic as well. Getting off topic over here. But yeah, as you can tell, there's really not any more cheap manuals that are not just sports cars. I have plenty of fast cars. I got this one right here. I got my Mercedes. My truck's not really fast, but it's torquey, which is plenty fun for me. I got the Miata, which still got to get that motor apart. Maybe I'll start working on that tonight. I don't know. I've just been chugging along. But yeah, so that's where I was at. And just so you can all kind of have an idea of how much the pricing is. Again, I had to keep certain information out, but I did show you the final totals of everything. I just don't want to get in trouble with the dealership or anything like that, any legal sort of bind. But yeah, if any of you have any questions about that, I'm sorry if this video was a little bit drawn out, but I was just trying to go more into detail of why manuals are so expensive. Not expensive, I apologize. Why it's so hard to get a manual. Why a car costs the way it does once you leave the dealership. And just, stuff. I mean, even some people who are first-time buyers don't even know a lot of this stuff. So it's good to at least see it. And I'm sure there's tons of other videos, but this one is specifically for the Nissan Versa S. That's a 2023 manual, bare bone, everything. We got some updates coming from the Versa. Stay tuned. Got a whole stereo ready to go in it, almost. Waiting, I need front speakers, wires for the amps, and 1 amp for the speakers. And then it's all done. Just have to actually put it all in then. But yeah, stay tuned, YouTube. Love the car so far. It's got about 1,200 miles on it at this point. Owned it for roughly 3 weeks now. My 3-week anniversary was yesterday of owning the car, and I gotta say, I love the car. It does great every day. It's comfortable. It's exactly what you need for basic transportation, with monitor amenities too. I mean, it doesn't have crank down windows like my truck does. It's got a stereo in it. It's got AM, FM radio. Bluetooth. You don't really need any more than that. I'm putting the stereo in because I like my music, but that was my little spiel. Hope you all liked the video. If you have any suggestions, I am trying to improve my videos day by day. It's hard when you have a full-time job to make perfect production videos, but I'm in the light in this video. I'm also in my garage, but what else can I say? Stay tuned, YouTube. Diesel Dan Peters signing out for now.